Hey, I'm Dean and this is Legacy Voyage. In Season 1, I'm documenting my journey to earning my first 100K net worth as a full-time college student. Join me as I share some of the lessons I learned along the way. I hopped on a call. It wasn't a call, it was like a Zoom meeting for Russell Brunson's birthday. And it was basically like a huge sales webinar masterclass type thing. And he was selling tickets for Funnel Hacking Live. I think it's in like September 20 something, but that's right when school starts up. But man, all the things that they're adding to ClickFunnels is actually insane. And the bonuses that all the guests who came on, they added like info products on how to do e-commerce, on how to do your personality test, copywriting, a whole bunch of things that I thought was super valuable. Yeah. One of the biggest things, the big takeaway I got, because Steve Larsen came on, because I got a course from him. One of the biggest things I learned was that instead of looking at something that you can't purchase and think, I can't buy that or I don't have enough to buy that, having this mind switch to how can I buy it? How can I get the money to pay for this thing? How can I work for someone, get paid, and then put that towards this expensive thing that previously I was not able to buy? And I think that was something that Russell Brunson learned from Rich Dad Poor Dad. That's one of the books I really have to read. But I think that mind shift is so powerful because if I can start thinking in terms of how can I get that money? How can I purchase that item? Because there's so many courses, like for example, Funnel Hacking Live. I think I only have like a couple $1,000 in my bank account. Not even a couple, like maybe 2K because I've spent all the rest of that money on courses. But it really shifts my mind into the rich mindset. That's what he calls it. It's a broke mindset versus the rich mindset or successful mindset. That rich people look at something and say, how can I get that super expensive car, course, or whatever? Whereas broke people say, I can't afford that. So really it's looking for options and using all the different resources that you have at your disposal to get what you want. And then some other lessons I learned. I recently finished the Magnetic Marketing book by Dan Kennedy, and he's really big on direct response marketing, which is different from how people normally market. So direct response marketing is primarily for small businesses, like for example, what Coach V is doing with coaching, and then you could also think of like a mattress store, furniture store, and then there's like a barber shop. Like these small businesses, typically what they want to do is use this magnetic marketing system where when they put money into ad spend or when they put money into generating leads, those leads immediately turn into profit. Not immediately, but they will turn into profit in the short term or in the short term. And then one of the biggest ways that they do that is using a lead magnet. And a lead magnet is basically some type of usually free offer that you can give to someone that will give your dream customers magnetically attracted towards you. So instead of you going out cold calling all these places like, hey, can you pull up to this thing or pay for my program? It instead becomes they are looking out for you and they are attracted to you because they want this lead magnet that you made. And the lead magnet, it can usually be some type of useful information. So for example, one of the things in the book was a plumber, and his lead magnet was like 100 things that could go wrong in your plumbing business or something like that, or 100 things that could be wrong with your plumbing. That was the information that he had to put out there, which would attract people. His lead or his target audience would be people who want lead magnet, people who want to fix their plumbing issues. So as I'm looking out at all these businesses, I'm really identifying that some of them don't have a lead magnet at all. And this was the issue that I had a while back working for my uncle because I didn't have a lead magnet. The only thing I had was schedule your free quote here. And immediately jumping to scheduling a quote or a meeting or something like that. The issue with that is customers by nature, they have this certain threshold of not trusting you. So in order to overcome that threshold and really position yourself as the expert, it's important to have this lead magnet to where if they go through this information, then they'll see you as the expert and they'll want to schedule a meeting with you and they'll be more likely to do that. With Coach V, the thing there is the lead magnet would be the masterclass that we're working on. And then once it goes live Monday, we'll see how that goes. I'm not sure how it'll go because I price it at 10K. We'll see the type of people on there. And if they do have that type of money, we'll find out for sure. I think the offer I made was actually pretty dang good. But yeah, another thing I saw from Alex Hormozy was the 4 different leverages that we can put in ourselves that we can get more return for the time that we put in. So the first one is the 4 C's of leverages. The first one is collaboration, which is using other people's time. Collaboration is basically hiring someone to do something for you or outsourcing certain services. That would be collaboration, and you can leverage this because you're using other people's time instead of your own time. Or you could leverage capital, which is using other people's money. So I see this a lot in real estate where people will use investors' money and then go find a deal and then put their money on the down payment and then go make a deal that way. The third one, and the third and fourth one are a lot more powerful. Third one is code, and you see this a lot with SaaS. It's what ClickFunnels is. It's SaaS because you can have as many people as you want on the code, but the cost of production isn't very high. And then the fourth and final one is content, which is like any type of media that you make. So for example, this podcast, I'm making it, but it doesn't matter if only one person hears it or a million people hear it. It's all just this like 20 minutes that I'm putting into recording the episode, editing it, and then posting it. But yeah, those are all the things that I've learned so over the past day. I think the next book that I'm really diving into is Expert Secrets. So I worked through his course, Russell Brunson's course for Expert Secrets, but now I'm reading his book on it, and it just gives me like such a deeper understanding of the entire topic because his book is actually insane. And then one of the marketers, he just said like if he could go to a deserted island for 6 months and he could only bring one marketing book, it would be Expert Secrets. So that it really shows you how powerful Expert Secrets really is because you can apply this stuff to any business. So I think the plan would be for me to just keep reading that book and then share some of the lessons I learned there as well. I've already shared it before, but I think hitting it twice because it'll give me a deeper understanding of the whole thing. But I'm also just trying to think of ways to generate cash because working with Coach V, the masterclass funnel, it's awesome. The webinar funnel is awesome. Only thing is that it takes a lot of time to really develop, and I think that it's a very hard selling point for people because they also have to put a lot of work into it. Whereas if I get into lead gen funnels, oh my goodness, I could sell that like crazy. I could pull up to a barbershop, sell them a lead gen funnel, a lead funnel, and then create a follow-up sequence for that. And all it would take would be like an interview or two just to really make sure I hit on the stories, give them some marketing consulting tips, things that they can improve on. But that might be something I do in the short run, just so I can really start generating cash, so I can start reinvesting that into myself because there's so many events that I'm trying to go to. But yeah, see you guys in the next episode. I'll talk to you.